Hello, Rama Pupodu. Hope all are healthy, having a peaceful and happy life, feeling great, wonderful. Now let's continue with Mother Azlagammal. She was very possessive about her meager belongings. Bhagavan transformed this quality in a beautiful way. One day, a pious renunciate and resident of Kanda ashramam called Sabhabati was wearing a torn cloth that did not cover much. Mother asked him, Sabhabati, why are you wearing this torn cloth? He playfully replied, You are wearing a long sari. It is 9 yards long. Why don't you give me some of it? She immediately tore 2 yards from her sari and gave it to Sabhapati. Her detachment from her few possessions had begun. Another day, some woodcutters came to Kanda ashram and cried, Bhagavan, we are all hungry. Mother Azlagammal would not share the food with others until she had eaten first. She believed that food became polluted if others ate it first. Bhagavan knew this. Still, he told Kunjuswami, ask mother to bring the food she has cooked and give it to them. She was hesitant. Tell Bhagavan that I have not yet eaten, she protested. When Kunjuswami reported this to Bhagavan, he went to her and reproached her. Oh, that is the reason. You think they are all different from you? Come and look. They are all standing down there. Do you know who they are? Look at them. She looked at them and Bhagavan said, They are all Arunachala Swarupam, the forms of Arunachala. He did not use the word untouchables. From that moment on, she saw only Arunachala in everyone. There was no difference between her and anyone else. Bhagavan fulfilled his duties to her as a son. Though already an acclaimed master, he had only a few people to serve him. They would fetch water for him and carry it painstakingly uphill. However, for his mother, Bhagavan himself brought the water. He would carry 2 big vessels filled to the brim, make her sit and pour water over her to bathe her. He also washed her clothes. While he attended to her physical needs and was affectionate to her, he could also be stern when he had to effect a change. Over 8 years, slowly but surely, he weaned her away from the limiting confines of narrow-mindedness, orthodoxy, superstition, and social customs. However, despite being in the presence of a great master like Bhagavan, who with all filial affection had the intention to measure his mother, it took 8 years. The beauty of their relationship is that Bhagavan's mother surrendered to it all and allowed the transformation to take place. The lesson for us here is that we should not get disappointed if we see no progress after a few years of sadhana. One day, Bhagavan's sister came and said, Mother, you are not well. Come, I have a comfortable house. She refused and turning to Bhagavan told him, I want to die only in your arms. After my death, you may even throw away my body into some thorn bushes. It does not matter. Soon after this, she fell seriously ill. On the day of her passing away, from early in the morning, Bhagavan sat next to her with his left hand on her head and his right hand on the right side of her chest. He remained like that for nearly 8 hours. The devotees who had gathered there knew that her end has come. They observed the beauty and sanctity of a son elevating his mother's soul to the infinite. Kunjuswami, who was the present later, said that the devotees observing this felt it was a physical demonstration of the soul's journey to the Absolute. It was like heat and light spreading from a flame. When he was sure that the soul and mind had merged in the self, Bhagavan took his hands off and then said, When the soul merges with the self and is completely annihilated, a soft ring like that of a bell can be felt. It was a common practice that after witnessing a death, all those present must bathe. However, Bhagavan said that in this case there was no need, as there was no pollution. She did not die. Instead, she is absorbed in Arunachala. He stated, Later, the devotees who were there inquired Bhagavan, "What did you do by keeping your hands on her head and her chest? What exactly took place?" Bhagavan explained, "Innate tendencies and subtle memories of past experiences that lead to future possibilities become very active when my hands were placed on her. Scene after scene rolled before her in her subtle consciousness. The outer senses had already gone. The soul was passing through a series of experiences, thus avoiding the need for rebirth and making possible the union of the mind with the self or the heart. The soul was at last disrobed of all subtleties before it reached its final destination, the supreme peace of liberation, from which there is no return to ignorance." What is the percept that Bhagavan laid down before us through Mother's example? When asked what the essence of his teaching was, Bhagavan would reply, either ask, "Who am I?" or surrender. They are two sides of the same coin. Bhagavan clearly demonstrated the nuances of "Who am I?" in the lives of many devotees. However, with the example of his mother, he taught the aspect of surrender, for his mother had surrendered completely. Mother's example also shows us what happens when one immerses in self-enquiry and reaches a state of silence. An experience like the one during mother's death takes place. Innate tendencies and subtle memories of past experiences leading to future possibilities become very active. When one is immersed in self-enquiry and silence, this begins to happen. At this point, one is tempted to give up and say, "I am not able to proceed." Scene after scene rolled before her in the subtle consciousness. The outer senses had already gone. When one inquires deeply, the inner doors open. The soul was passing through a series of experiences, thus avoiding the need for rebirth and making possible the union of the mind with the self or the heart. When one progresses in self-enquiry, there is a struggle for the mind to merge with the heart. The guidance and grace of the Guru are very essential to push and pull the mind into the heart. Once the soul was disrobed of all the subtleties, it reached the final destination, the supreme peace of liberation from which there is no return to ignorance. This teaching is a clear example of the imminent experience that awaits us all. Mother Azlagammal has shown us the way. Have complete faith. Either take up the path of self-enquiry or surrender to the higher power. In both cases, Bhagavan has said, ego has no place. When there is no ego, neither I or mine. That which rules is only Arunachala. As Bhagavan has said, Arunachala is the heart, the self, the I am. Reaching Arunachala is not in space or in time. It is constantly here and now. It is not going to enter your heart. It is already in your heart. You only have to turn your attention to it. Mother Azlagammal turned her attention to Bhagavan. Bhagavan once said, "The purpose of the outer guru is give a push, and that of the inner guru is to pull." Arunachala is the outer guru who gives us the push, while Bhagavan, remaining in the heart as ourself, pulls us like a magnet. So what is our role? We just have to submit. Wherever we are, we should live in our heart. Sacredness means that we should go into silence. Wherever and whenever we are in silence, we are in sacredness. And that sacredness is Arunachala. Arunachala is not a Hindu god. It is reality, space, existence itself. Since we have identified ourselves with our bodies and thus have limited ourselves, Arunachala has come to remind us there is no you, there is only I am. That's all, folks. Let's continue in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Puppodu.